So, are the Americans overreacting about Gladestalkers?
Is this? Are we gonna put the first bit in where we were bitching about the Americans and Elves again?
Yeah, we'll go have it again and again.
Right, we'll just keep doing it.
Just on repeat. Just have it on repeat.
Back in the day with fantasy, where Americans were like, "Oh, Elves are the best army in the game." It's like, High Elves aren't even the best elf faction. They're actually the worst elf faction.
Don't say that. People still get upset over that.
That's because they're wrong. Stupid.
They are wrong.
So, starting with... Well, should we start with the archers, because they're the boring
That's
version.
the one that everybody cared about.
Yeah.
Well, I say everyone who's a real elf player cared about.
It's strange, because everyone was crying out for range 4 plus archers.
Yeah.
And then they got them, and everyone forgot that they've got range 4 plus archers, because they're all now excited about Gladestalkers.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what do we think of the change for archers? Because it's not a straight buff, because they lost defense, got more expensive to get the range 4 plus.
I just think they're in a place where they're a bit irrelevant, to be honest with you. I think you're taking them for an unlock if you need it. You're not taking them as a mainstay unit. And that's just what you do with them. Because if you're taking archers, you want to take better archers. I.e. the Gladestalkers. And they're not much more points more.
They're not, but they are more.
Yeah. That's
The
the
more.
only real difference is when you're arguing about the last 50 points in your list.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
thinking, I'll swap a Gladestalker unit down to an archer unit.
Yeah.
That gives me 100 points for a chaff unit.
That's what they're going to be used for.
Yeah.
You're not going to start a list with.
I mean, you could do
Four
a
units.
hard vicious.
I think it's quite
Running
tasty
around
now.
vicious isn't bad.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you just put Sea Guard in place though?
They've got steady aim, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're actually fairly costed.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
can just put Sea Guard in the place.
I'm not. You see, I still don't like Seaguard. It's because of everything that used to be and everything got taken from them.
I think archers in an elf list don't have as much purpose, because elves don't struggle for unlocks in quite the same way. I think kindred archers are fantastic now in Twilightkin, and this is an incredible buff for them in Twilightkin. I think in regular elves it's nice. I didn't like the old profile of elves archers at all, because it wasn't.
No
They
one
weren't
did.
elves.
It didn't feel like elves.
No one liked the old profile.
It was unbelievably efficient.
He was very good. Excellent
Because for the cost,
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
getting all that defense and nerve and everything.
I mean, I never used them.
No.
Because I hated it.
And that was it. I'd rather have a unit that feels elfish and appropriately costed than the old one, even though people are upset. Some of them are upset for losing the really cheap unlock.
They can show up.
Yeah.
They're not real elf players, are they? Unless you're bitching and moaning, you're really an elf player.
I said this on Fanatics the other day. They're all the same. They're almost as bad as dwarf players.
And dwarf players are almost as bad as herd players.
Yeah.
The worst players in Kings of War. For complaining.
Yeah.
So, if Kindred Archers haven't changed the world, have Gladestalkers?
They've got better.
I don't know about in the elf list. I think they're important in the elf list because a lot of the other elf unlocks are. Again, I still think compared to second edition elves are boring.
The thing I like
They're
about
less boring now.
Yeah.
the thing I like about Gladestalkers is that you can't really just send shit after them to kill them. You have to commit to kill them now because of melee 3.
Yeah.
And that's a big buff, in my opinion, because they can take a unit. Well, anyone take a unit of harpies, but you know that small little chaffy
a
combat unit.
medium cav unit's not going to walk up to them and take them out. And most of the time, because you've got scout, you're going to go into a wood, stay there, and be like, what are you going to do?
Even things like Panther Lance troops from Basileans, like they're not guaranteed to kill a kindred archer, kindred Gladestalker.
No, I like them. I've seen a lot of them in troops, which I think are quite scary actually in terms of damage output.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of points in there for
10 shots. And my issue with Gladestalkers is the same as last time. They may have got better, but it was still every time I ran them. Like I was trying Ice King Hunters, which is the Northern Lions version in playtesting, and I'd run into somebody, which is you, with any amount of lightning bolt, and then turn one they'll go, lightning bolt 5, 3 damage, wavered. Go. That's fucking point of troop.
Yeah, that's the thing with troops. Like,
Not got stealth. They've not got anything to help them. You know, they just fucking
I
die.
think that's more a playstyle thing because I do play quite.
If I took 4 units, it'd be like, oh great, you've wavered 1. Here's 4 more.
I do think a solid backbone. You could build lists off 3 Gladestalkers regiments, no problem. Because they're a solid unlock. They're decent unit strength now.
Yeah.
The decent nerve, elite shooting, elite melee.
No,
They're a good melee unit. Yeah.
they're a good
Fine.
they're a good unit, I think, all around now.
Yeah,
Which is a nice change because they weren't bad, but they just weren't bad, and that didn't really feel right for the elite elf.
yeah.
The elite of the elite.
I thought they were fine before.
Yeah, they were fine. They were just
I don't
fine.
encourage horrible, boring elf playstyles like we've.
But at least
As a proponent of
horrible elf
playing
playstyle.
horrible elf playstyles, not that mine were boring because I played mixed arms, not just shooting because I'm not I'm not morally bankrupt.
No, like
Well,
people who play a lot of shooting have got a problem, I think.
On mounts.
I wasn't actually going to like point to you and point it out, but I mean, if you're going to draw attention to yourself.
If the shoe fits, mate, I don't mind.
Do we think then, this is probably a bigger question for all 3 of the elves, are the changes to Gladestalkers and Archers going to bring back an elf shooting meta?
Yeah, I think so.
It will do for like 3 months, I think. And then people will realise, actually, that's a bit thingy. We'll go back to the lightning bolt and run the Dracons to support it. I think that's what will probably happen. Personally, I could be wrong on that, but that's what I see, because I think the lightning bolt skew is better.
I think you'll see it in America because the Americans have got problems with imagination.
If the internet says something, it must be right.
We're on the internet here. We are the internet.
Yeah, but we're not like Texas.
We're not like America
People
now,
just believe everyone in there.
No one listens to a word we say.
No.
If they've got any sense.
We have no idea what we're talking about.
I think the shooting meta will be back to an extent, but I think some of the tools that really made it work, like steady aim items,
Bane-chantable
shooting, Alchemist Curse, and Blood Boil to finish units off. All those sort of and still out there.
I don't know about you guys though, because a lot of the lists I've been writing have got quite a few characters, individual combat characters in. So I feel like I'm running more combat characters than normal, which is a perfect thing to shut shooting down.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like that's the route I was going naturally because it fits how this edition, how this rule set is, I think. So I think they're more powerful generally. So I kind of feel like people start running a lot of that. Like my Varangur list, for example, if I say that, I'm more than happy to have 8 units of Gladestalkers on the other side of me because I'll shut it down quickly.
Yeah, Archers, Gladestalkers, I think are nice changes that we needed.
Archmage got fucking Surge.
Archmage got Surge, which was nice. I assumed he
Spellcaster
always
tier
did.
3.
Have Surge. I assumed he was always Spellcaster tier 3.
It was always Spellcaster level 2 was a bit odd for Masters of Magic, but not having Surge in it was a bit weird.
Yeah,
depending when this goes out, the FAQ will have been released saying that Surge is now added to the Master of Magic rule as well. So there can be roll-ins.
That's good.
Because you were like everything that you were surging for the most part at Scout, so you get 1 shot of Surge, so you'd be paying 30 points for that. So it still kind of sucks.
Yeah,
but at least you have it.
I like it a lot. Yeah. Again, it's one of those things that's probably more relevant to the Silverkin with the air elementals now.
Yeah,
still nice. Stormwind Cav, Quicksilver Lancers.
I like this.
I like them a lot.
I like it.
The extra nerve does it for me.
I really, really don't like Stormwind Cav. I think they're overcosted.
Yeah,
what is... I know 14-16 is a good nerve, but they've been power crept up on by every other card in the game now.
Yeah, because it's not good because they don't have wave mitigation.
Yeah.
They don't have damage mitigation.
But they do cost
a
fortune.
The good units, like your Abyssal Horsemen, they might be 14-16, but they've got Fury and Regen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Basilian Knights are far cheaper, not quite as good in combat, not quite as quick, but they're 15-17 with Headstrong and Iron Resolve.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the shit you need.
But what I really like about the Quicksilver Lancers is it doubles down on what they do well, which is fast, hard hitting.
Yeah, it's still a bit of a glass cannon, but that's a scalpel unit now, rather than just like a weird scalpel.
I feel like it adds to what I think Elves should be played like mixed arms. I think you can have 1 unit of these, 1 Dracon Rider, a couple of Archers, a couple of one of that, and you've got a very strong list just from. As I say, it's the extra nerve that does it for me more than anything else.
No, I agree.
Even just by putting Stainstone on and all makes him even just for an extra 5 points.
You can never go wrong with the extra 5 points on that, can you?
No.
I think it's a solid addition.
No, I like it a lot.
16, 17 on them just puts them to that point where they're like, yeah, that's...
I might actually get that charge off that I want now, rather than
I think item wise, I don't think you want to go Sharnus, so I think you're getting too expensive.
No, I think you just do. Honestly, I think they're a unit
talk
that you
about
put Stainstone.
I think you talk about or Pathfinder,
maybe, yeah.
Either of them.
Yeah.
Because you got the nimble to
Nimble Pathfinder. Done. Nimble Pathfinder's really good.
Yeah.
No, good unit. Seaguard, who I kind of already touched upon, but I think
haven't changed.
Steady aim now.
Yeah. Right.
They are closing in on being worthwhile. These are quite similar to the Free Dwarf Spear Lever. That maybe the 7th buff will be the one that finally makes these usable again.
Yeah, 260 points.
See, I don't mind them because I feel like if you was taking a horde of archers, I'd prefer one of these because it's a horde that can advance and still put pressure on. Whereas a horde of archers has to just sit back and do something. Whereas this is going to do. It's got more shots than a horde of archers.
Yeah,
one less range, but yeah.
One less range.
They're elite melee only. So your archers are actually. They're enough better.
They're there or thereabout, aren't they? Yeah.
They're not far off.
No, yeah, they are. They probably are better, aren't they?
They're about 3 or 4 hits a turn.
Yeah,
but that's substantial for a shooting unit. But
it is.
They are still they because they're running with phalanx, because they're running around with they're semi-competent in combat.
I like them. I think they're expensive, but you're getting a lot for your buck, and I think.
Anyway,
he's gone. So I don't need a puff of smoke. You know, you can tell this isn't one clean take. Seaguard. I think you're always going to have the issue of they're fine, but they're always going to suffer from not being good at one. Good enough in one side or the other.
150 for Regiment. I don't think you complain too much.
No, but what can you do? You can't make it.
I won't want to see them cheaper than that.
No, I wouldn't.
So they're going to fit for some people.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to make up a top tier list.
No.
But they'll work.
Could be wrong.
I like the idea of a horde of vicious with a bit of support around it. And it's always relevant.
Yeah, it's just that's topping getting close to 300 points, isn't it?
Yeah.
290. So, but if you can get your value out of it, fine. I'm not sure you ever will. No. Hunters finally got made cheaper.
They're really, really cheap.
They're really, really cheap.
Really
cheap. In fact, actually.
I don't think they should be this cheap, but I really like the. We'll get to it at Silver King where they're making better use of them. But for now, Elves, that's a nice little unit to have.
Yeah, they're one of these units now that were made that cheap to entice them to be taken because they were never taken.
Yeah, they were.
Even though actually they've got a really generous stat line.
Yeah.
Melee 3 defense 5, 14, 16 is a very good unit.
Yes, that's a 150 point stat line, but then you've got Scout and Pathfinder.
Yeah. And everyone always looks at them.
15 attacks, you're like, the shit.
Yeah, they're actually really good.
They're really good.
Yeah.
they're just really good.
I think 140 points, they're really good. Argus Rodina, I like this one.
I do. I always thought Argus was alright.
I wrote this. So
I thought Argus was pretty good in third.
He was really good. Really, really good. It was just one of the things that we wanted to do, and you've already touched on it, is that Elves got a lot of the fun surgically removed from them in third edition.
Yeah.
All the things that they could do that were unique and interesting was no, you can't have that anymore.
Yeah.
And they also got hit really hard with the generic nerfs. So the changes to cover from moving into it and shooting, etc., and splitting of nimble and steady aim, etc.
The losing various shooting items, your shooting enchant, your black iron crown.
So there were an army that got hit hard. So things like Argus, who was already good, just putting a bit more character into him. And I like this rule a lot.
It was very much here's a thing that does one thing, and that's inherently boring.
Yeah.
And now it does two things, which is more interesting.
Yeah. And I challenge someone to take this to a tournament and remember it every game. Because you will never do it every turn.
Yeah, that's true.
I forget my tournament reroll, never mind, I get one reroll per turn.
I mean, it's not. But if you're running, say a bolt thrower,
Yeah.
you'd be quite happy if that
Oh,
bolt
yeah.
thrower effectively has 3 shots that caps out at 2 hits. You'd be like,
Yeah.
oh right, yeah. But it was,
And Argus is saving you the inspiring
inspiring
somewhere
shots,
else,
yeah.
which is really useful.
yeah. No, I like him.
Yep. Kindred Warriors.
I'm already bored. I understand, like, before, like, because I know other Elf players are like, what's fucking boring bullshit. But this is your cheap unlock.
Yeah.
This is your cheap. I mean, 20 points more, you might as well just get Hunters of the Wild, which are just better in every single way.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. But this replaces the fact that your Archer unlock unit is gone. So this is your cheapest unlock unit.
Basically,
That's
reason they exist.
probably the only reason they exist. And it makes sense that why would Elves not have a sword and board version?
It didn't make a whole lot of sense, no.
Yeah.
They didn't, but
It is also the most boring unit I've looked at in a long time.
it's unique.
No, it's not.
No other shield wall variant has speed 6 in Elite. it's unique. Didn't say it was good. Said it was unique.
That doesn't make it interesting.
Didn't say it was interesting. I said it was unique. I'm technically correct. Anyway, Dragon Hatchlings.
Yeah, that's slightly more interesting.
I like these a lot. These I think are a bit of a under the radar. They're a berserker regiment style unit that flies with nimble and 24 attacks at melee 4, crush 1, speed 7. They're really, really good. They're quite pricey.
Yeah,
But
I think they're alright.
I think these are one of those units that I wish were in other armies, because if you had an army that could have more units around, then these scattered amongst your lines would be terrifying. You know, so if you had lots of little infantry regiments around.
If you're playing nature and you're playing like an air elemental list,
Yeah.
you've got 3 odds of air elementals,
Stuff
and then
like that.
interspersed you've got dragon hatchling packs like that. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. But whereas elves struggle with that playstyle, so they're really only going to have 3 or 4 very expensive hammer units. Doesn't make them bad, and these pair quite nicely with Dracons.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, when Dracons are going into something, Dracons are doing 18 3s, 12 with the elite rerolls, so they're putting 14 hits out. These are putting 12 hits out, and they're only a thunderous less.
Yeah.
For 70, 80 point discount. It's not bad.
Not bad at all. No,
you can't complain about that. You know, I like him because it's a fairly unique archetype and unit archetype.
Yeah, it's a swarm that's not crap.
It's like a heavy swarm.
Yeah, which I like. It's a totally different, unique thing that elves got some character back. Woo.
Yeah.
Nice. But no, I like them. I think they're interesting. I quite like the fat little models from League of Infamy.
Yeah, I picked up a load of them real cheap. I don't know where they are. I think they're in the box somewhere, but I've got like fucking 12 of the ones. Right.
King's Champion.
I like him.
Yeah,
it's great.
There's a model for this. This is what it's based on. It's the
cool.
Mantic spear wielding king, which is a really nice model.
Is that an Infamy one or is
No, it's the original first range of the elves, which is why it's got phalanx. Because why not? So yeah, take that, Hector. You're no longer the only phalanx character. I think he's just nice for what he is.
I think he's really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Aura Fury Kindred is good because he gets the aura himself, so he's got Fury, which is probably the most important bit of that.
Spearman, I think it's quite nice for.
Spearman's quite nice.
I think Spearman hordes.
I don't think Seaguard have Kindred.
No, I don't think
Your Dragon Kindred Lord doesn't have Kindred.
No.
Palace Guard obviously don't have it.
No.
Yeah,
it's Gladestalkers, Archers, Spearman, and obviously the new Warriors.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah, that's fine. But I think more than anything, it's my problem with Elves has always been that the Elf stat line is remarkably boring for what are supposed to be superhuman.
Yeah.
Like ridiculously dexterous and agile 100-year living warriors, and they've got stat lines which cap out 12 attacks as a regiment. And they've got stat lines for the characters that cap out at 5.
They've got elite. And the little dwarves get vicious. Just the exact same thing, so I don't agree with that as an argument.
I think elves have always been done dirt in their stat lines. I don't think they actually reflect. Like, you don't have a proper elite elf infantry unit. Like, I know Palace Guard are, but it's not Soul Reavers.
I agree.
It's not Huskars.
You have to take them in a horde to get that level.
Some 30-year-old dude is better in combat than a 120-year-old elf who spent his entire life studying the blade with his fedora on.
Yeah.
But King's Champion has 7 attacks.
It does, and that's what I really like.
King's Champion is speed 7.
It's speed 7, so is it that I'm useful speed? He's like, useful attacks.
He's like, look at me, I'm a goddamn elf. I think he's really cool. I think it's
really cool. I think it's a really cool idea as a unit. I mean, Duelist on 7 attacks with Elite and Melee 3 is very nice.
Yeah. Like, he's the kind of guy that a dragon walks over and the King's Champion's like, you're not doing a one shot, mate.
I've got Phalanx.
And I'm probably gonna get 2 rounds against you.
Yeah, you're -2 against me because minus 1 against me. Sorry, I've got Phalanx. Yeah. No, but really nice unit. Obviously, the FAQ is going to say it doesn't have unit strength of 1.
Yeah,
that was a typo. There's quite a few of those unit strength ones. Nimue. A Nimue Way Dancer. I've always really liked Nimue.
I've used it once. Should be good.
Yeah. Fireball Shattering as well. Pretty damn nice.
Plain inspiring.
Cloak of Death that you can get behind shit with is just...
For that one turn when you fly 20, you march, get to shoot, and Cloak of Death. Shattering on your fireball.
Cloak of Death, fireballs on your Shattering, yeah.
That's pretty sweet for 150 points, you know. And then that turn you just stood behind them. And if someone wants to come after you, they're going after a fucking wizard.
Yeah.
Like turn a unit around to come after me, like...
It's a 150 point wizard.
Why?
Fine. Yeah. Crack on. No, like her a lot, it's very good. Formation. I
like the formation. I don't think I've ever used it, but I like it.
I might use it. I like it. I think it makes regiments of Dracons.
This is the kind of shit that fucking formations are supposed to be for.
Yeah.
It's what would you never take? Well, you're never going to take a regiment of werewolves, are you? Right. So why do we do that? Why give?
Yeah.
Well, you're never going to take. Like, you might take regiments of Aloha in the old edition. But like you take hordes all the time, so why would you make the formation affect hordes?
2 hordes, yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you just make it regiments and like no? Okay.
Yeah. So then if you want to do the slightly unusual thing, here's your nice incentive to do it.
Yes. Yeah. So, but I think it's a really cool, interesting formation. I don't know if I'd ever use it because it's probably not the kind of elf list that I'd run anyway.
Yeah. It's a very nice MSU elf build.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. Edition. And elves can do an actual decent and fun. Not MSU, MMU. Yeah. I don't think elves can get small.
I can think of one long form battle reporter that would be quite happy with us.
Yeah.
Just nothing but MSU elves.
Yeah. And I think that's everything.
It is.
I'm happy overall with elves.
Are you happy with elves?
I'm happy.
Do you think?
Well, I mean, no, it's so boring.
Are they? I don't know.
They're less boring.
They're less boring.
But like when I used to play elves, because I don't really count myself as playing as being an elf playing them, because I haven't actually played vanilla elves in 3 to 4 years at this point.
Yeah.
So I'll just play Sylvan King because they're fun and have character. Because elves kind of had that stripped away from them.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to run Duracell battery pack, that's not interesting or fun particularly. I've always hated looking at it. I mean, I know I was a big proponent of it because I thought elves had literally nothing and were going to be one of the worst armies in the entire game at Dawn of 3rd edition. So I think I was a big campaign of having Mindfog taken off them and just made cheaper. It's like, oh great, elves can be Mindfog standard on their Archmaiden in like 70 points. This was during playtesting, by the way. Yeah, they were like 70 points standard with fucking Mindfog on. Right, sorry. Who did a piss off of my elves that much?
But yeah. No,
it's better.
I think it's
all
better.
This is just fucking better and good,
is.
and it's more interesting, and things are pointed more appropriately.
Yeah.
There's no complaining.
No, there's not. Well,
you can't. It's not like, oh, what got better? Well, everything.
Yeah, it did. I'm still not sure it's there to make them any more interesting other than the base template, which Sylvan King and Twilight King are based off.
Yeah,
which is a shame for a core fantasy army.
Yeah. I think elves would need a 4th edition full rewrite where Forest Guard are coming in with 15 attacks.
Yeah. Or
Palace Guard have got 15.
Throw the rubber out and start entirely again with something totally different of a...
You're actually varying them up like Forest Guard have got speed 715 attacks.
Yeah, something wild.
Something was like these elves are like they portray the fact they're supposed to be super quick and agile and long lives, so you know it makes more sense than just being +1 speed elite.
Yeah,
you know,
but
still it's good.
no, there's nothing bad here. Cool.